Day 32 is in full effect, and today we're going to talk about the coveted leads and sales conversation. Okay, we want to talk about getting leads and we want to talk about getting sales because in business, our goal is to make a profit. Period. All right. So, welcome back. This is Tracy Walker. I'm so happy that you are with me along the journey inside of our 30K in 90 days challenge. I have been doing a live video every day for the past 31 days, and we're going to continue on up through 90 days in an effort to give you the nuts, the bolts, the insider secrets, the tips, the strategies, the tactics, the mindset, the motivation, the inspiration, and the tools and resources, everything that you need to actually be successful with a digital marketing business in today's day and age. All right. So, what gives me the right to even talk to you about this? Well, let's start with number one. I am a baseball mom, and that is very, very important. It's important because I'm on the go all the time. And if it wasn't for a digital marketing business where I already brought some skills with me even before I had my son is 10, right? If I hadn't learned a lot of this stuff before I had him, oh goodness, I would be up itch creek without a paddle. Okay. So very, very busy. So I'm a baseball mom. I am a seven-figure digital marketer. That means that I have been able to use digital marketing strategies. I've been able to leverage digital marketing as a whole to make well over seven figures in multiple different arenas in the network marketing space, where we're talking about building teams and recruiting people and building organizations, as well as in the affiliate marketing space, where you're not really building teams, you're just kind of using the strategies and the marketing know how to go out and make sales of whatever the thing is you are an affiliate of. And then last but not least, as a content creator, all right, I have literally built coaching programs and trainings and courses and downloads and ebooks and blueprints and worksheets and workbooks. Um, all types of things and across many different niches, right? I mean, I've done it in trading, I've done it in blogging, I've done it in list building, I've done it in putting your own automations together, right? A multitude of different um, aspects of digital marketing, and I've broken them down so that people like you can get the value. And when you look at all of that, that whole entire scope, we live in a day and age where now it's like all of that seems too much. Right? It seems way too much. And let's not forget, I did say I was a baseball mom, right? Oh, and now my son is picking up flag football starting this fall. So now it's flag football and it's baseball. He's on two baseball teams. All right. So it's a lot. And it's too much, right? And I'm a single mom. So, with that being said, it's very important that not only do I have these skills, but I have them implemented into my business because I have to be able to make money, right? I have to be able to put food on the table. I have to be able to pay this here internet's bill so that I can speak to you. And I want to make sure that if having a digital marketing business, if having the freedom that you want, if having your time back, if having more money coming in without you having to work a lot of manual labor for it is something that you desire, that I am at least a resource for you and helping to put you in a position where you can actually achieve those things for yourself because it's definitely possible. All right. So now, with that being said, let's jump right on into today's lesson. Okay. Now, leads and sales. All right. There is a formula. I'm full of formulas, right? I mean, listen, I actually operate on principles. Okay. I am a principle based person, a principle based woman. Okay. And it has helped me in my business because once I learn the principle of the thing, then I can build on it. And I want you to consider those type of pillars for you as well. Once you understand the actual principle behind something or the nature behind something or the way that something works, more often than not, you'll be able to navigate these internet streets a lot easier and you'll be able to identify things that work and don't work pretty easily. All right. So I have a formula that talks about like social media and overall the process that people go through before they buy. Okay. So There's 4 phases. Okay, so this is the formula. The first phase, I've talked about this before, I believe, in a few other previous trainings in this challenge, but the very first phase is visibility, right? If you are in a business, or if you want to promote a product, or you are promoting a product, or you are in a network marketing company, you want to build a team, and still there's products that you're promoting and marketing, and nobody knows about it, and you are choosing to be on the internet and you have zero visibility, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to go beyond whatever it is that you're getting right now. And in most people's cases, it's getting nothing. You're getting nothing right now, right? And so you continue to get nothing until you find another company. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to join this company because this company seems like it has a much better target, or it has a product I like the best. And then you get into that, you pay the money, and then you realize, oh my goodness, everywhere I go, there I am. I'm still not aware of the formula of how it works, even though I've got something else. So visibility is critical. I mean, it is. If you don't have visibility, you can hang it up. Okay. Why do you think these advertising, or that, not advertising, but why do you think these brands pay these influencers the money that they pay them to be in front of the organic audiences that they have taken the time to nurture and build? It is because if you can get one person that has access to 1 million people, and you pay that person to put your product or service in front, the likelihood that you're going to be in front of a lot of people at a significantly smaller price than if you were going to go on mass TV or mass radio, try to put a billboard up in the city of Atlanta on the highway that you can't measure or track, which is one of the craziest marketing strategies. I've never been a fan of a billboard on the highway. It's just, it's a principle. We'll talk about it another time. The principle, you got to be able to measure and track. I just don't know how you measure how many people are going past that sign every day. I just don't. I don't know how you're measuring. Even if 1 million people went past the sign, how do you know who looked at it? You don't know who looked at it. So how many eyes actually saw the sign? They were driving on the road, but how do you know they looked up when they were driving and saw your sign? You don't. So how do you measure the visibility? Okay, it's just weird. So the point that I'm making is, if people don't know about it, if you haven't figured out how to get in front of people, you haven't figured out your strategy, your tactic, your modality, you're gonna be out of the water. Okay. So that's the first step. But let's assume that you do have visibility, okay, at least with your own target market. After visibility, then you have what we call engagement. This is social, right? So with engagement, that at least is letting you know that people are paying attention, people are watching. Like I can see Desiree is watching from YouTube right now. She goes, "Hey, Coach Tracy, I'm in a bad area with signals, but I'm here." Right? That's engagement. So I clearly have visibility, right? Because then she saw it, for example, and then she engaged, right? So A, she's got to know I exist, and she's got to be able to find me. And then B, she knows how to engage with me. Okay. Now, after those 2 steps are done, then we get to leads. This is a principle. It's like chronology, right? It's like your parents were born before you. Right? It's like you can't be born before your parents, right? You come through your mother. So your mother obviously was here first. Okay. She was the one who birthed you. So she was here first. So visibility has to be first. Then engagement has to be second. Then leads come third. Okay. That's the way it works. If you are expecting leads without visibility and engagement, I mean, I guess anything is possible, but you guys have heard me talk about this over and over and over again. Anything is possible. I get it. It's great to say all that stuff, but the reality is that it's highly improbable. It's highly improbable that you're going to do that, right? With no visibility, no influence, somebody knows who you are, and you're trying to do your business with 1 or 2 hours a day. You're going to have to focus on visibility and engagement. Now we're going to get leads. Okay. Now, once we start getting leads coming in to our system and into our database, now we can start fostering sales. Now we can start generating sales. Now we can start nurturing that list so that we can get sales. That is the formula. Those are the principles. That's how this thing works. So when we're talking today about leads and sales, the assumption is that you are already doing the things to get you visibility and engagement. And that is the whole point of everything that I've taught you up to this point. If you are not aware of how to get visible or how to have engagement, you got to go back to earlier videos inside of this challenge, because there's no shortage of me talking to you about how to create content. There's no shortage of me talking to you about how to identify your target market. There's no shortage of me talking to you about putting together the messaging that you need in order to create the content so that it connects with your perfect ideal customer. There's no shortage of any of that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move to the next step now, because we got visibility and we got content, and we got, hopefully through enough of that, if you're doing 3 pieces of content a day, kind of like I've been teaching you to do. I don't know if you are or you are not, but I guarantee if you're not, you definitely aren't getting any visibility, which is creating more of a problem for you. But if you're actually following my lead, if you're actually doing what I'm instructing you to do, and not just listening for the benefit of saying, oh yeah, that was great, Trace, I really enjoyed your video. I need you to enjoy it more by actually implementing and getting a result, right? So if you're actually doing what I'm saying, then if you were doing 3 pieces of content a day and we're already at day 32, then that would be what? 3 times 96? There'll be 96 pieces of content or by today. 96 pieces of content. You mean to tell me you don't think there'd be any visibility? There wouldn't be any engagement? But I know you haven't really done 3 pieces of content yet. We're supposed to be at 96. We'll talk about it another time. I'll get on y'all case another time. But chronology, you get these leads coming in as a result of the visibility and the engagement. And now these leads come in and they go onto what we call your list. Okay. This is why you want to have what we call an autoresponder. Okay. Now, the thing with what we're doing inside the Legacy Builders program is that the system that we put our funnels and stuff on for you to use and get an exact copy of the same exact funnels, it doesn't cost anything, right? The platform that we use where our funnels are hosted on, that you get by being a member of the Legacy Builders program, it doesn't cost anything, but it's an autoresponder, which means that when people go to your page and they put your name in, or they put their name or they put their email in that box, then that email goes onto what we call your database, your list, and you are able to then email the people on that list. Now, remember what I said, you've got to have, right, principle wise, leads before sales. Now, does that mean that some people won't buy right off, straight off your content? No, a certain percentage of the population will buy impulse, right? I'm kind of like one of those people. If I watch you and I watch you and I watch you and I watch you and I like what you're saying, it makes sense to me. It resonates with my brain. It feels in alignment with my heart. And I feel like, okay, yeah, I want to do it. I don't necessarily need to get on your list and get 25,000 emails from you before I buy. I have already made a decision to buy. Right. And so there's plenty of times where I will see somebody's content and go right to their website and buy straight from the content. It might eventually put me on the list, but I got on the list because I was forced to get on the list, because that's the process that I need to take before I can actually find a buy button on the page somewhere. Right. So they force me to go get on their list. And then after I opt in, I can see the information where I can actually buy. But everybody isn't like me. Maybe you buy impulse like that too. And when I say impulse, I don't mean you have no idea what you're buying. I'm not talking about you're ignorant in your buying. I'm not talking about you have no idea what you're doing. I'm talking about you can see something, and when you know what you want, when you know that that makes sense and you can see how it can benefit you and your business, you don't need a lot of time to, over evaluate or over analyze things before you pay the $30 or you pay the $69 or you pay the $200, whatever it is, right? So a certain percentage of the population will buy straight off of engagement or straight off of visibility. But the rest of the folk uh are trying to figure out if you're a real person. The rest of the folk were scammed in the last deal they did. It wasn't really the deal that scammed them, but it was them that scammed them, because they got excited, they bought something, and then they realized, oh shoot, I'm not going to do this work. And so they got scammed, okay, by themselves in the last 3 things that they bought. And so they're skeptical. They're watching. They're trying to see when are you going to pull the wool over their eyes. They're trying to see when some type of red flag is going to reveal itself. And if you are being authentic, you are being consistent, and you are moving forward, eventually the right people who are looking for green flags, even though they're actually looking for red flags, they're hoping for green ones, then eventually those people will buy. Well, what encourages them to buy? What is it? Is it just you continuously putting out new content? No, because you putting out new content is pretty much like you getting new fish. It's like if you're a fisherman and you put bait on your hook of your line and you throw your line out there, and then a fish gets hooked onto the bait and you reel the fish in and put the fish on the boat. When you throw the line back out there with a new bait, you're not trying to get the same fish. This content, this new content that you're putting out is designed to hook new fish. New fish. So you keep doing content. That's great. Your goal is to have more visibility. Your goal is to have more engagement. Your goal is to get more fish. In other words, get more leads to throw into your boat, get more leads to put onto your database. But now that you've got all these leads on your database, what are you doing with them? Are you not paying attention to them? Or are you just still so focused on putting a bait on your line and going to get more and more new fish? Because in your mind, you think sales come majority from the content. I want to help expand your frame a little bit so that you recognize that the money is in the list. The money is in the list. There is money in the content, but a big chunk, a majority of the money, a larger percentage of the money that you're going to make in the business are from the people that are already on the list. So if you aren't paying attention to the people on the list because you're more concerned with doing another TikTok, you're more concerned with doing another YouTube, you're more concerned with doing another Facebook, you're more concerned with doing another reel, you're more concerned with doing another LinkedIn, you're more concerned with running another ad. Like, I'm not saying don't do those things. I'm saying you're doing those things for the purpose of getting leads. You're not really doing those things for the purpose of getting a sale. You have to get the lead first, then the lead equals the sale. So now that we have the leads, now we've got to start getting to work. And this is why people have their automated follow-up sequences. This is why we have the automated follow-up email sequences. And why do we want them automated? Because who has time to sit down and write a brand new email every freaking day? Now, if you do have time, have at it. But if you don't have time, or if other things are happening in your day, or you've got things you've got to do and you never get around to doing the email, your automated sequence that you pre-designed, that you pre-wrote, that is going to go to every person in order that comes on that list, that is going to be your sales mechanism. This is why you need to have lists. Like, it's weird to me. I've been in businesses with people where they're like, "Oh, you don't need to build a list." And I'm thinking, what world are you living in where you're telling people who are in an internet-based business that they don't need to build a list? Meanwhile, the company that you're in, everybody that's coming into that company website, they're putting their name and email in their website. So the company is building a list with all of your contacts, while you're telling people that they don't need to build a list with all of their same contacts. That's insane. That's literally like, I don't even know what world that is. Okay. So my point is that smart people on the internet, smart people, there's tons of people on the internet. Okay. And listen, there's people that make money on the internet that aren't wrapped too tight. So you can't just go by the fact that they're making the money. Okay. You've got to understand principles. And if they can't show you how they're making the money, or if they're making the money by happenstance, Oh my goodness, this person joined my business from this country and I don't know who this person is. And this person that joined in this country blew my whole team up. And now I'm making, 100 grand a month. And I don't even know who this person is living in this country that just happened to find my link. If their strategy is for you to hope that you too get a random person in a random country who knows a zillion people, that they're going to go and sign everybody up so that you also can make $100,000 a month, that's probably not a good plan. I'm just saying. A much more predictable, a much more measurable, a much more realistic plan would be for you to get visibility on your content. Make sure people are engaging because that kind of insinuates that they are enjoying it. You're in the right market of people. Ask the people to go to your website and get the free gift or get access to this or whatever it is that you're asking them to do, and then they go there and they give you their name and their email, and then they get on your list. Your list is your asset. Your list is your asset, and assets make you money. That's the whole point. If you go and you spend your money on stocks, your intention is for the stocks to go up in value and make you money. There is no other intention. You're not just that in love with being a co-owner of Apple. You're not. You're not just, oh my goodness, my whole mission in life was to be able to contribute to exactly what Facebook is doing, what Meta is doing, right? Oh, they contribute with what Google is doing. That is not what you're doing it for. You're getting in where you fit in because you believe there's some money to be made. So, in your own business, you want to build this list because this list is your asset. It is the income producing entity. If you don't have an income producing entity, then if you change a company or if your channel gets shut down or if your page get wipes away or whatever, all types of things happen that you are not in control of. And unless you've had it happen to you, maybe you're not in touch with the fact that it can and it will. I've had a whole Instagram page, maybe like 17, 18,000 people on the Instagram page just gone because somebody was impersonating me and reported my page as the fictitious page. And Instagram shut me down that I had since 2000, God knows how long. Had run ads on it, had all type of stuff. And so that was the end of that. What if I didn't know that I should be focused on getting the people off of social and onto my list? Then that would mean I would not be able to send out an email and say, hey, everybody, guess what? My page just got snatched down. I don't know if I'm getting it back or not. So in the meantime, in between time, come follow me over here or go get this thing or go buy this, right? I don't have any way to communicate with people on a page that I don't own when somebody else can take it down. You've got to understand that you are building a house on land that's owned by somebody else. And it's the landowner that controls it. So you need to be in control of your asset. So now that you have the people on the list and you realize that you've got to start communicating with them and you're going to put an automated follow-up system, automated follow-up campaign, whether it's 7 to 14 days, sometimes mine are 7 to 14 days. Sometimes they're like 30 days, right? I mean, I know people that are like intense and they've built a whole 365-day email campaign. Like I just don't even have the bandwidth to even think about writing in 365 emails and setting it up. And then people get an email from me every day for a year. It's a novel idea. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, Lord, I'm gonna have to have my assistant, my virtual assistants just go to town on that, right? I just can't even imagine putting that type of content together. So for me, I know the average person, after opting in, 7 to 14 days, you're going to pop a sale or something. 30 days, maybe 60. I'm kind of good after that. Now, they're still on my list, which means if I send out a broadcast message, in other words, a one-off, right? I can just go in there and type something in real time. They can get those from me. But in terms of one that's going out automatically every day at the same time to them, 14 days, 30 days, listen, if you ain't bought by then we're done here. Like, come on, what? Just stop. You're still on the list. You'll still hear from me, but I'm not getting ready to come up with all that stuff. That's just me. Now, that's just me. You can move how you feel you need to move. Okay. So you've got a 7 to 14 day campaign. Let's just start there, or a 30-day campaign. Like 30-day campaign is really one of my favorites, right? Because at least it's 7 to 14, and it's that twice essentially, right? So I'm okay. I'm okay with that, and I feel pretty good that people are getting something from me every day for a month at least, right? If we're talking about know, like, and trust, oh, they're gonna freaking know my name after 30 emails, right? In 30 days, they're gonna freaking know when it says Tracy Walker is the sender. They're gonna know who I am. Okay. And if they don't unsubscribe from the list, guess what? They must like me. So they know me. They're still on the list. They like me. And if they haven't purchased, it's one or two things. Either they do not trust me yet, or they do not want the thing that I'm offering, but they're hanging around because they know I might present something else at some other point in time that may be of something, be of value to them. So they hang out. They don't have a problem reading my content. They just don't buy whatever it is I'm promoting to them at the time. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, it's all right. Everybody's not going to buy everything. So this is why when you have different offers or different products or different, angles in which you're promoting the products, it's okay. It's a good thing to, try these different things, because you just never know, what it is that's going to get that person to buy. And so the creativity is important. So now, as I close out, I want to talk to you a little bit about, when you're emailing these people. Okay. When you're emailing these people, when you're emailing them, even within your email campaign, whether it's automated or whether you're doing one-off broadcasts, I want you to keep this thing in mind. This is very, very important. I want you to keep in mind that you do not want to be afraid to sell the people in the email sequence. In other words, sometimes people they will have an email sequence, and the first 7 days, they don't even have a link in there for the person to go buy. It's just getting to know me, right? They call it nurturing the list, warming up the list, right? Okay, listen, let me tell you something to you about the way people work. If you were selling candy apples on your site, on your Instagram, and people went to your link in your bio and they clicked on the link because they wanted candy apples, and then they went to your website, they put their email in, and there was an opportunity for them to buy the candy apples at that time, but they didn't buy the candy apples at that time, maybe because they were in carpool like me, and your child got in the car, and now you are not sitting there with the ability to focus and do that. Now you got to drive off, you got to get the kid in, and you got to start talking about other stuff. So you put the phone down. It wasn't intentional, but it's like, oh, shoot, I've got something else that came up. So now the person gets the first email from you, and you're fluffing around. Oh, let me tell you about the benefit of these candy apples, and they're so awesome. They're so great. It's my passion. This is that. But you don't have a link to buy. Well, shit. I was trying to buy the apple. So now I'm like, oh, I got the email. Great. Let me go. Let me read. And I don't see a link to buy the apple. Okay. Well, now maybe she'll send me the link because I forgot what website it was on. Maybe he'll send me the link. So now I'm going about my day. The next day comes along. Email 2 comes. I open it up. Oh, good. Yes. I was thinking about these candy apples all night. I was dreaming about these candy apples. And then you get this email. You're so excited. And guess what? There's still no link. Okay, so about a third or fourth day that the person who would have bought from you realize that they can't buy from you, guess what? They're going to go look for candy apples somewhere else because they're trying to buy, but apparently you don't have anything for sale because you're too busy being afraid to sell because you want to be nice and nurture, and you don't want to seem like you're being too pushy and you're pressuring them. How are you being pushy in an email? Right? If a person doesn't want to click the link, they don't have to. You can't force somebody's mouse to click that link. All you can do is make the offer. And if they don't want the offer, they don't have to. But you never want to to create an environment where you have buyers who would buy, who can't wait to buy, who now can't. They can't because you're afraid to put the link in because you don't want to ward off the people who weren't going to buy anyway. I've never known anybody scared to buy something. Have you been scared to buy something? When you went to the grocery store and you decided you were going to get those grapes, were you afraid? Were you upset that they had those grapes sitting in there offering you grapes and the price was right there per pound? Did that upset you that they told you the price per pound and they had an offer? They had 5 different bags of grapes sitting right there. Were you offended? Did you feel pressured to buy? No, right? So like why do we have this made up stuff in our head that now because you have a link in an email that's going to make people feel like you're being too pushy? I tell you what, I'd rather be pushy and make sales than to not offer at all, wait 7 to 14 days, and now all of my potential buyers have gone to my competitor because my competitor ain't messing around. My competitor is saying, candy apples for sale, come get your candy apple virtually via the email. And then they, here, buy your candy apple, and they give me a link to buy the candy apple. And Lord, we are buying up candy apples. And then guess what else? I'm gonna go tell my sister, girl, go to this site because they selling good candy apples. Now I've made referrals and everything, and you still playing around trying to be my best friend before you offer me an opportunity to buy. That is the absolute worst thing that you could do when it comes to making sales, especially with all the hard work that you've done to get the email, to get the lead, right? So the amount of work that goes into getting leads, and then you get leads, and then you don't sell the lead, nothing. What on God's green earth is happening? You make the money from the list. Hello. Okay. You make the money from the list. How do you make the money from the list? You make an offer. You put the link. You send people back to the sales page. You send people back to the order form. You send people back to the page where they can go and click the button and buy and buy and buy and buy. You do that every day, the first 7 to 14, all the way through the 30 days. If they want more details, then they will just click on the link and get more details. But if they don't want more details and they want to buy, then they have the ability to do that. And that is the best thing that you can do for your people on your email list, is stop jerking them around with all your fluff. Some of it is you got to allow abundance into your life. Some of you guys are like repelling abundance. You're so afraid somebody's going to feel a type of way that you won't even offer it, which means you're afraid of success. You have a fear of success. You're saying you want to win, but then you fear it so much that you don't even give yourself a chance to win because you're hiding behind some fictitious thing, right? Because it makes you feel better. It's a mental construct that you've made up to shield yourself from what? Making money. Because that is the only thing is shielding you from, honey, is you ain't making no money because you can't, because you didn't put the link. The people didn't memorize the link. And trust me, with the short attention span that people have on the internet these days, they're not going to be searching all around trying to go find it. Now, if you build up enough rapport over the years, you build up enough of a know, like, trust me factor, you may have somebody email you back or somebody DM you and say, hey, Tracy, I was on your email list, but I didn't see a link. Could you send it to me? Right? You might get that. But just on a regular day-to-day basis, you cannot expect that. Do not expect that. Just make it available for people and circumvent that problem. So getting sales is a function of leads. Getting sales is a function of leads. Getting sales is a function of getting leads. No leads. Why are we even talking about you have made no sales? That's not even a discussion. It's like so how come I don't have a baby? Are you pregnant? That makes zero sense. You're putting the horse or the cart before the horse. Okay. Leads, then sales. Leads, then sales. So what is our focus here? What is our focus here, kids? Our focus is getting leads. So you need your lead capture page. It will capture the lead contact details. And then you got to have an email sequence. Okay. That's the way this thing works. Very, very simple process. All right. Now, here's what I want you to know. If you head over to the link that is in the description, if you're looking at this on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're looking at it on Facebook, it's in the comments. Okay, it's in the comments. But if you head over and you click on that link is going to take you to a lead capture page where you're going to be able to get access to our free digital marketing blueprint. It is a video, but it's also a download that you're going to get in the very first email. It's a real download, it's a real blueprint. Okay, it's a PDF. You can print it out if you wanted to. So I'm going to recommend that if you want to know what the daily pay blueprint is, right? Because the 30K in 90 days challenge is all about putting yourself in a position to earn $900 a day, right? You build up to that, but at least 12 of those a month, right? At least 12 of those a month will get you to a little bit over 10,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And you do that times 3 months, then there's where our 30,000 comes from. So you want 12 sales. So if 1 out of 20 buy, you need 20 leads on average statistically. It's not a guarantee that that's the exact number, but statistically, on average, you need 20 leads before you have one buyer in our program. So when you go through the daily pay blueprint and you understand that, your goal is not to worry about sales. Your goal is to focus on good content that generates leads. That's your job. Once you've got that, your automated follow up system is already built in and working for you. You don't have to do anything there. Your focus and time for your 2 hours a day with the Legacy Builders program is to go out there and make great content and connect with your audience. And once the lead comes in, the system kicks in on your behalf. And this is how you're able to make sales on autopilot because the emails have the link for the people to go back to the website, and the website has the link on the page there for them to buy. People can go to your email in the middle of the night. People can go to your email while you're driving to work. People can go to your email while you're at the hair salon. People can go to the email while you're dropping the baby off at school. Like, you don't need to be any particular place because this thing is going to be working for you on your behalf. This is the power of automation. This is the power of systems. This is what is going to give you the freedom that you say you want. You see, listen, there's something about, like I told you, I'm principle based. I actually believe in this thing called freedom. And I've taught on some of these concepts before, right? In this challenge, right? It's see it, feel it, and live it. You got to see it in your mind's eye first, the thing that you want. You got to imagine yourself having it. And then you got to feel what it's like to already be in the midst of the thing. And then you get to live the thing because you will bring it from the unseen to the seen. Okay. And that is what we call freedom when you're, oh, this way. No, which way is it? This way. It's called freedom when you understand how to put that in motion for yourself. And that's what I'm trying to help you do is put it in motion for yourself. Now, here's the other beautiful part. When you get started with us with the Legacy Builders program, we give you the sales pages, the sales funnel, the lead capture page. You don't have to build that stuff. You do have to connect a few things. You want your payment processor to pay you, don't you? So you got to put that on there. You want your own domain name, right? So you can go to blah, blah, blah.com and it's your domain and people go there, right? Right. So you got to do a couple of little cosmetic things there. But ultimately, the building of it and what it says and the graphics and how it all ties together and does it make sense and the copywriting, it's all done for you. And it's hosted on a platform that's absolutely free. And we already give you the email follow-up sequence. You just import it. Like you push a button and it imports in. You do have to make some changes like to your name and stuff in the emails, but that's the only customization you really have to do. It's already pre-built and pre-designed for you. You just have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So we give you everything. So everything I'm telling you about, I want you to know so that you understand the principle behind it. So that then when you actually get your hands on the program, you can appreciate the lack of work you have to do from that technical standpoint. Again, there are some things you're going to have to do, but you can appreciate what has already been created for you, because you now don't have to write your own email sequence for 30 days trying to come up from scratch to decide what you're going to say every day for 30 days. We've already written that out, and it's already in an email sequence campaign, and all you have to do is import it and make some customizations and put your name at the end of the email. Like, come on. Can't do that? You've been working that job for 10, 15, 20 years and you ain't made $900 a day yet. Now you have a chance to make $900 a day and you can't go in and edit your name at the bottom of a freaking email and hit save, but you want a digital marketing business? Come on, people, let's go. Let's make sure that our desires and our goals and our dreams are in alignment with the amount of work that's required. You cannot expect something for nothing. You probably can some places, but not over here. That's not a principle that we live by. You have to sow something to reap something. That's a principle. You don't just reap something, you sow it. Okay? So I hope that that was of some value today on understanding the sequence of events and how to use your email list and how to not nurture it so much. You want to have it and you want to nurture it from the standpoint of being in contact with your list consistently, but not so much in contact that you're not putting the buy button. We're not nurturing and loving on them to the point where we don't want them to buy. No, we are in a for-profit business. If you don't want people to buy, then maybe maybe a different type of business is more ideal for you and your goals. But if your goal is to make an extra 10,000 a month, an extra 3,000 a month, an extra 5,000 a month, an extra 1,000 a month, uh, you need to have a buy button so that people can buy if they see the value. Simple as that. All right. So I want to make sure that you are right back here with me on tomorrow for day number 33. Yay, day number 33. And if you have not gotten your hands on the free digital marketing blueprint as of yet, go ahead, click on the link down in the description or in the comments if you're looking at this over on Facebook, or you can head right here to www.makemoneywithtracy.com. You can type it in if you want to. Just make sure you put an E in my name. See right there, TRACEY. You could do that. And either way, it's going to take you to the page where you can put your email in and you can start going through the process. And you'll put yourself in position where you can go ahead and get started with the Legacy Builders program so you can too start earning 100% commissions, $900 sales as often as you get it popping. The more visibility, the more engagement, the more leads, the more sales. So how much you make will depend on how well you are able to follow this formula, these principles that I just gave you. You got it? So I'm excited I was able to have some time with you guys here on tonight. I am on my way out of here. Okay. My son's got to be at baseball tomorrow. So we got to get things rocking and shaking and rocking and shaking and baking, right? I've already washed clothes. I got to fold some clothes up before I go to bed. Okay. I'm still a mom in real life. And I wanted to make sure that I left you with this knowledge, okay? Because I don't ever want you to feel like nobody gave you the information. That information is not on patent. You got it. If I got it, you got it. All right. So with that, now go use it. Because if you don't use it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose it. And you don't want that. All right. So I'll see y'all tomorrow, day number 33. Later.